Fast fashion is bad and you should avoid supporting them, is what I should say as someone who is aware of the industry. But I won't. I'm not anti-fast fashion, but I also won't support them. Uniqlo's plain white t-shirt and black turtleneck are the last items I bought from any fast fashion brand, and that was over a year ago. After I found out about some local brands that make decent clothes, I never looked back. I only shop at local clothing stores or thrift shops if I'm looking for something unique or vintage. But other than that, I stopped buying from fast fashion brands. However, despite that, I want to be objective and neutral when it comes to fast fashion discussion. And honestly, I can still see the positives of fast fashion, like the price for example. Everything that they're selling is affordable and sometimes there are discounts, which makes it even better when we are on a tight budget. The quality might not be the best, but for 99% of people, it's enough. You can try to find cheaper items if you want, but the quality might drop substantially. Availability is also a huge benefit. You don't need to go to specialized stores for specific items. In my personal experience, local stores only sell specialized items. I'm not complaining here because the best t-shirts I have is from a local brand, and I will definitely buy from them again. But if I need a denim jacket, I need to find a different store that specializes in that. Not everyone has the time to do some research, so fast fashion becomes the solution. Everything is available everywhere, including the nearest store. So, fast fashion is the jack of all trades, master of none solution to your shopping needs. And the last benefit is the fact that they are up to trends. Their entire existence is reliant upon trends. They need people to buy their items, and that means they need to know what everyone wants and sell that trendy items. This is good for people who worry about their image in front of others. Those who need to have the most recent trendy items can find an alternative in fast fashion brands. Combined with their affordability and availability, pretty much everyone can become trendy without getting broke. So overall, fast fashion is a great option for fashion enthusiasts, old and new. But of course, with all of the good things that fast fashion offer, the bad follows. We, as consumers, need to be aware of what we are supporting and buying. We shouldn't settle for the label affordable, even though, yes, our financial situation is often the main driver of our purchases. The truth is, fast fashion brands stand on lies and exploitation. The first lie is quality. I did mention that the quality is enough for most people, and I did say that they are affordable, but not necessarily worth it. The problem here is that people aren't aware of what they are buying, or more specifically, people aren't aware of what the items are made of. Polyester is way cheaper than natural materials like cotton and wool because they can be manufactured in minutes, while cotton and wool take a long time to grow. So while your polyester shirt is affordable, they are worth way less than what you actually paid. At the same price point, you can get better shirts made of natural fabric. So don't be content with affordable. It's not about the price, it's about value. What we get should be worth the price we are paying. Also, polyester is not breathable. Don't trust anyone that said otherwise. Now, in the original script, I'm comparing two different t-shirts here. One is Uniqlo and the other is a local tee that I love. I basically said that I got a way better tee from a local brand because it's thicker, heavier and more ethical. But I'm cutting it off because workforce is cheaper in here in Indonesia than developed countries like America and the EU, so I shouldn't use it as a comparison. But speaking of workforce, there is another cost that we pay as we buy clothes, and that is the employees' salaries. This is where most debates takes place, the moral issue of fast fashion work ethics. First and foremost, let's all be aware of the fact that all of fast fashion manufacturers are in developing countries like China, Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia, because these countries pay low wages for their workers, meaning that the fast fashion brands don't need to pay too much for manufacturing. Most of the time, the average salary of the manufacturer's employees is lower than the average domestic salary. And by the way, the average salary in these countries are low, so their pay is lower than low. I've also watched videos that show the working conditions in these manufacturers, and it's not ideal. And that's how fast fashion brands can keep their prices low. Now, I'm not saying that the brands are directly involved in this exploitation. Most of the time, they just send their designs to these third-party manufacturers and they just receive the finished product. And that is the truth about affordable clothes. We are so desensitized by fast fashion that when we see ethically made items with natural materials at a fair price, meaning a bit more expensive, we immediately say that the items aren't worth it. But let's see from a different perspective. If the items made of natural fibers and made ethically are that expensive, then imagine the quality of the materials and the build in fast fashion brands. So what do you think? My stance is clear in this issue. I do not support fast fashion and I refrain from buying fast fashion clothes. But I won't shame or blame you for buying into fast fashion, because I know that some of us aren't that lucky to have a lot of money to buy clothes, including myself. And that's why I'm neutral in this debate, while keeping my feet firmly against fast fashion, if that makes sense. I mean, like, I try my best to find ethical brands that use natural materials and don't involve slavery, and their prices are way higher. Even the aforementioned local t-shirt is actually twice the price of Uniqlo's. So of course it's not as easy to decide whether I'm buying it or not. I have no regrets though. I would rather wait another paycheck or save up before buying clothes than getting cheap items that won't last long for marked up prices. And I will definitely buy from this local brand again. If you are on the same side as myself, don't shame other people for supporting or even being a hardcore fan of fast fashion brand. The purpose of this video is to make people aware and then to give solutions, which I have just discussed. This is just a short explanation of the benefits of either side of the fast fashion debate. This topic has been around for ages and you can find other videos discussing it in a more detailed manner. I think that this topic has died down, but since I make videos on building a wardrobe from scratch and how to save money doing it, I think this topic is fitting. And because of this, I want to make a series explaining materials that are commonly used in fashion, but I don't know how the format will look like. Leave a comment if this sounds interesting to you and what sort of materials should I break down first, and subscribe for more content. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.